Jeff Ballabon joins us now. He is Senior Counsel for International and Governmental Affairs with the American Center for Law and Justice. Jeff, welcome. Great to have you with us.
Great to be here.
So we're hearing the word genocide more and more as it relates to Gaza. From a legal perspective, can you explain what actual genocide is in terms of international law, Jeff?
Sure. Well, genocide as a term was first invented after the Holocaust, because it was the first time there was an industrialized attempt to wipe out an entire people, race, religion, how we want to define Jews. Then they defined it racially, and so I actually wrote the exact language. It's a UN chartered intent to destroy in whole or in part a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group as such. And it is clear, could not be more clear, that Israel is doing the exact opposite. Israel is trying to preserve as many of the racial, ethnic, religious people in Gaza, people known as Palestinians, as they can, despite the fact that they are waging an actual genocidal war against the Jews and Israel.
Why do you think these accusations are coming then? If they're increasing by the day, it seems.
Sure. Well, the accusations, the interesting reality of anti-Semitism, of Jew hatred, is that it morphs as the need happens, right? So literally since the time of the Bible, we were introduced even at the time of Abraham, but certainly at the time of Pharaoh and Joseph and the tribes, the accusation of the Jews being somehow subversive, somehow evil. Jews are always the evil. We are both the capitalists and the communists, socialists. We are both the ones who are separate and we're trying to intrude into societies.
The scapegoat.
It's always a scapegoat, and that's the truth. The truth is whenever there's an interest to pursue power or another agenda, it will turn to find some narrative about the Jews. Actually, the best definition that was ever given to me was given by a Christian who lives in Israel, a young man who said, Jeff, I'm not a scholar. I don't really understand this. I'm a simple guy, but it looks to me like if you hate God, you can't take a punch at him, so what do? You take a punch at a Jew. And that really explains all of this.
Now, some are comparing this to genocides like the ones we've seen in Rwanda, in Bosnia. Others disagree. Others are saying, Hamas could end all of this suffering by just basically surrendering. How do you see that distinction, Jeff?
100%. So there are two aspects of this. And one is the negative, which is responding to the assertion. I don't think it's necessary to look at the fact. It's so obvious. Israel's done everything it can to preserve human life. No military in history has waged war with such care and such precision. Now, we see destruction. That's because Gaza turned itself into an entire terrorist base, the entire thing. That said, we should look at where this is coming from, why it's happening, and what's driving it. And the truth is, look at Israel. Israel not only provides health care to the terrorists of Gaza, even during wartime, but in Israel itself, at this point, people don't realize this, more than half the medical and healthcare personnel in Israel are Arabs. So Israel is completely integrated in this regard. Healthcare is provided to Arabs by Jews and Arabs. It's to Jews by Jews and Arabs. And all this narrative is other people trying to create this idea that Israel is stealing land from another nation that never existed in history. Mm-hmm. They claim Jesus was a Palestinian. There were no temples. All of this narrative is genocidal. It's intended to say that Israel is occupying somebody else's land and must be destroyed. Yeah. Truth is, it's the exact opposite.
All right, Jeff Ballabon with the American Center for Law and Justice. It's great to have you in studio with us here. Thank you for coming in and talking on this very important topic. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.